How long have you studied medicine, Helder?
6 years.
6 years. What school did you go to? Or did you go to?
In Brazil, I studied in the Federal University.
Do you live in LA now, or are you just visiting?
No, I just visited.
Really? You left Brazil during the World Cup?
Yeah.
It's probably a good time to go, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brazil's...
You're just visiting Los Angeles. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you thought, like, fuck it, it's a good time to get out of here. All the tourists are here and stuff.
Yeah.
What town are you from?
Rio.
Rio.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's probably a good time to be not at home right now.
Yeah, Rio's complete chaos.
How do you feel about it? Because like all the civil unrest and stuff like that. Because there was riots leading up to the World Cup.
Oh, he's pro.
I think like historically, lots of cities, like the local population loses a lot. Like the working class loses a lot. It's a bunch of graft from the top, and corporations and contractors get bids and stuff like that. Does the average person in Rio hate the World Cup? Or are they happy that it's there?
Yeah. Well, now that it is happening, people are kind of okay with it because Brazil's playing and people go crazy.
The fucking bullshit.
Oh, I have a World Cup question.
I also have one. Are you a fan of football?
Not really.
Okay.
He's here. He's fucking here. If he was
why is the logo 2 hands? Hands are like the worst thing in soccer.
Yeah. Soccer, they hate hands.
That would be like if the hockey logo was like roller skates.
The story about that.
Or if a football logo was a chessboard.
Well, that trophy now is a good documentary about the trophy now is the world, which is the soccer ball, which is the hands all holding onto it. That's not the original one. The original one was like stolen, and Hitler wanted it, and Mussolini stole it for a while. Like there was an amazing story about like the original trophy, which is this beautiful piece of like Art Deco, gold, and it was really wonderful. And it was probably the most coveted trophy that will ever be. Because it was, first of all, beautiful, and second of all, it's the World Cup, which is the most important thing for most, athletes. And and we don't know where it is. But for a while, Mussolini had it, and Hitler tried to steal it and shit like that. It's really good.
Hitler loved art. I saw that movie.
Hitler loved art.
He was going to build a big Hitler museum with all the art and all the world in it.
Is this the John Cusack one? Or
Monuments Man. Is John Cusack in that? I can't even remember.
Yeah.
Everyone was in it.
No, George Clooney. Clooney.
What's the one with young Hitler?
That's called Max. Or wait, what is it called? Max? Yeah, that was. I told you on this podcast. I recommend viewing that because it's like very dramatic. Like I don't know. I don't think it's trying.
I don't think you can make a movie about Hitler and not have it be dramatic.
But it's like, I mean, if you want to see John Cusack pointing at a guy, poking him in the chest, and saying, "From your heart, Hitler." I want to see it on the canvas, Hitler. It's just funny.
He's like, the world will be my canvas.
Yeah.
I have a football question. What? Do you guys not know what he did?
No, too soon, man.
The story ends badly.
Yeah.
The other question, Spencer and I were talking about this on Twitter. Okay, the hardest thing about watching football is soccer is that you don't know at 90 minutes the game's not over. At 90 minutes they're like, no, we're going to play for a random amount of time.
As long as I
why
feel.
do you even have a clock?
It's not random.
I know it's
not random.
Injury time. I know it's not. Why don't they just pause the clock and then so that it's always 90? That's what all the other sports are doing. Why is the time going when they're fucking around? They're pretending to be hit.
They don't want to stop the clock because they don't want to. If you stop the clock, like today, they stop.
You got to use your hands.
No.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you can't stop the clock.
They hate hands.
Yeah. Each time there's an injury, there's a guy like trying to kick a clock, and it won't work.
They're gonna make a foot.
How hard it is to work a stopwatch with your feet?
Yeah, that's the best explanation I've heard. For why they don't just pause the fucking clock?
Today during Mexico-Netherlands, they stopped the clock for a water break because it was like 97 degrees or whatever, and they stopped it for the second time.
So they can do it. They know how to.
The second time in World Cup history, they stopped it for a water break, for a refreshments break, and they went to commercial. And it was really a bummer because like the one thing that you can dig about soccer or international football is that you don't see a bunch of fucking commercials. They had a water break and they went to commercial, and it was a big drag.
Why don't they just hit pause? It's not. Why? So then we know when the game's over. The players are playing like we have a random amount of time left to score. Wouldn't it be better if they knew exactly how much time they had left?
Probably.
You need to know.
Why? Why would it be worse if they knew exactly how much time they had left?
Well one of the big things, there's a lot of corruption in soccer.
There's a lot of corruption in soccer. Is how this explanation is starting.
FIFA's like Chicago politics from the 1800s.
We don't have to go so far back.
There's two different things. One is to see like how bad of a person you are, how bad of a team you are. Because there are teams like Italy that just flop around and they lay around.
This has nothing to do with the question.
No, it does with the clock.
Okay.
Yeah, they like ham it up and like
you don't
they waste time.
If you know it's 90 minutes, then people can just go, okay, we're ahead by 2 goals. We're just going to eat up the clock and lay on the ground or do a bunch of shit. Now the referee says no.
Well, no, they can
you want to lay on the
pause
ground.
time.
You lay on the ground, then we can. Yeah, but I don't know. For me, it is a weird thing.
There's no other sport that's like the game will end when it ends.
Yeah. It ends when
Who the fuck knows? I think there's about 5 minutes left.
There was a piece. I think it was New York Times, something like that. I saw that ranked countries by how much time they spend on the ground writhing in fake agony, and it's so interesting. Like, but the team that won today, that beat Mexico, the Netherlands, they weren't even in the top 20. I don't think. Like, there's certain teams that just do not flop and don't spend time writhing around on the ground. Brazil, number 1. Because South American teams, Central American teams, and also parts of like the Spanish leagues, Italian leagues. There's a big culture of just fucking like. There's a great thing on YouTube where there's people doing flops and they have like a crosshairs, like a sniper. And
I saw that.
It's people going and falling down. But there's a crosshairs and a bullet sound goes off. But there's no one anywhere near them. It's really good.
Okay, so because they flop.
That's just another aspect of the game, right? Is what you're saying? It's like its own kind of...
No, but I don't get what that has to do with the clock.
Well, I mean, you have actual injuries that happen in soccer and stuff. That's why you have the extra time. And that's why it's added on when...
But why don't they just pause when the injuries happen?
Because then I think people would use there's not the ball's really never dead. Like there's not like a lot of dead ball situations like in basketball where the whistle blows and there's lots of breaks and everyone has a drink of water. In soccer, you just play. You keep going.
There's no. It's fucking amazing if you watch NBA or college. And for the last 2 minutes, it's nothing but commercials. There's no commercials.
No, it's great, but why don't they just pause the clock? They don't have to. You don't have to.
That's a false dichotomy. You don't. The alternative isn't. I guess we're gonna have to buy a lot of commercials and shove them into these breaks. Yeah. Like that's.
I'm not even saying breaks. When someone falls down, we just
play for 45 minutes, and if there's been an injury or if there's been lots of substitutions, they add 30 seconds for this, a minute for that, and they add it up, and
nobody knows what that number is.
No, the officials
There's
do.
one guy.
The fourth official saying that we're going to give you 30 seconds for this substitution, 30 seconds for this penalty kick, a minute for that injury.
The officials know, but game not recognized clock.
Wow. World's best callback.
Yeah, that was sitting on that egg for
that was the World Cup of callbacks.
So
there's Dr. Toomer is raising his hand.
The real answer is like FIFA has never been known for embracing change.
FIFA doesn't embrace change.
It took them quite a while to embrace goal line technology.
Goal line technology?
Has been using
for okay.
Why are you guys talking about this?
You just walked in, sir. I saw you walk in. We're at a show.
I had to get a drink.
Okay.
So you had to get up and get a drink, but now we're doing the show wrong because you came back in and we're talking about soccer, not to your liking?
But you're talking about it wrong.
Oh. Who's this fancy gentleman? And then it's the guy in a linen suit who's just...
I know he likes to drink.